Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I'm sharing with you the 2009 Pagani Zonda Roadster, and this thing is worth 2.1 million credits in Forza Horizon 3. So today I'm going to tell you if I think it's worth all those credits. We're going to start out in the Forza Vista so you can see the car, and then we're going to end off with some racing gameplay against some unbeatable drivatars so you can really see how this car performs and how it competes. Now, first thing I want to say about it is the looks of it are actually really nice. I like the stock paint job, and it's a pretty cool car overall. I like the stock wheels. This thing sounds very nice. You're going to see here very shortly it has a V12, which is actually made by Mercedes-Benz, which is pretty cool, but the interior of this thing looks really good. Black and red I think is always a very good combination, and this car has a couple cool unique features to show in the Forza Vista, and that means we will be here a little bit longer than we usually are before we get to the racing gameplay, but that is to be expected because this is a pretty unique car, and it was actually very awkward to do different things because things would open and close when I would open one thing, and it was awkward to get inside of the car, which was very weird. But it is a unique car, so I guess that is kind of expected, that it's going to be a little bit different and a little bit out there. But it's cool they do have some side compartments where you have at least some room for storage, considering the motor is in the back of the car, so that helps 53% of the weight be in the back of this car, which is definitely a good thing considering it is rear-wheel drive. It's at the bottom of the S2 class, weighs under 3,000 pounds, so this thing is very light, but it makes almost 700 horsepower and almost 600 torque from that AMG motor V12 from Mercedes-Benz, which is pretty cool. And this thing, you know, it doesn't really feel all that fast. That's one thing I think is a weakness of it, but I will say for sure the grip on this thing is very good. The launch is good. You get a little bit of wheel spin in first gear, but it's nothing that's not controllable, and once you hit second gear, doesn't matter if you're going around turns, just going in a straight line, the grip is pretty much perfect, and that is a very good thing for a rear-wheel drive car that makes a lot of power. But the acceleration feels pretty good overall. I mean, this thing has a 6-speed transmission, and it does shift kind of slowly. That's one thing I noticed. It doesn't shift fast, but like I said, the acceleration, I mean, it feels good to me, but like I said before that, the car doesn't feel that fast, and the reason for that is when I went to race it, I thought the acceleration felt good, but then the drivatars were just able to almost pass me multiple times, and I was going full throttle, and the acceleration feels pretty consistent throughout all the gears. But I guess the main kind of weakness is actually the top speed, because we're in the S2 class, but the top speed is just over 200. I mean, considering it's a modern supercar, I guess it makes sense, and it is enough speed for most sprint race tracks, but the thing is, like, there's a lot of cars that have a lot more top ends, and that usually means that they have more acceleration top end as well, so it does feel kind of slow and not as fast as I was hoping it would, but the handling is pretty good, but once again, not perfect. It's not amazing, and second gear is the sweet spot. If you stay in third gear, sometimes the handling is not quite as responsive as you would like it to be, but one thing that is very good all the time, no matter what, is the braking. The braking is absolutely fantastic on this thing, so overall the handling characteristics are good, the braking is awesome, and the handling is good as long as you make sure that you're in the right gear. And like I said, going around the sharper turns, second gear is usually that sweet spot and where you're going to want to be, and the acceleration is good, but it's definitely not top tier, and overall the car is just not top tier, and it's kind of in a weird spot because once again it's at the bottom of the S2 class rear-wheel drive, and it's just not all that fast, so it can't compete with some of the other S2 cars. Now, I think it's a pretty good modern supercar for that class, but I definitely don't think this thing is worth the 2 million credits because it's just not that kind of car where it's that good that it's worth a ton of credits in the game. Now, it's fun to drive. I think it's a fantastic cruise car, and it does drive nice, but it's simply just not competitive enough to be a very good race car. So if you just want a fun car to drive, a car to cruise with, I think it's very good, but for racing, it's definitely not one of the best. So that's how I feel about it, but let me know what you think of the Pagani Zonda Roadster in Forza Horizon 3. As always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.